For some reason, my Space Engineers game audio just, like, broke. Like about an hour before we got off last night.
Nice.
Like, the sound effects were only, like, really wigged out, except for, like, my UI sound effects.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like, it sounded like all the other sound effects were trying to play, but just failing.
So did Clark enjoy the trip on the on the tumbler?
Yeah? Yeah, but it seems my audio's working fine now. And yeah, we got it into space. Also, I made a few adjustments to its hydrogen configuration. Specifically, I put four small forward hydrogen thrusters on it, and set up a bunch of groups so that you can basically turn off all but only a couple small thrusters in every direction for slow maneuvering in space.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. And yeah, with that configuration, as you'll see, it's actually quite controllable now. With just having like roughly four hydrogen thrusters in every direction.
At least in space.
Yeah. I mean, it was controllable enough to well, you'll see where I parked it. I parked it in a interesting place.
I see.
So yeah, basically flying it in space revolves around if you want to get somewhere quickly, you can fire up the main thrusters and then just spin around in order to come to a stop quickly if you need to. But in general, maneuvering around in tight spaces, you can just use the maneuvering thrusters, and even at this heavy load, they work perfectly fine.
Cool.
It's a little slow, but you don't exactly want something this big moving around quickly.
So are we gonna build your sweeping 3D printer in space now?
I mean, we could start construction on it. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it before, like, next week, though.
Right.
Although
I mean the script, I just meant, like, the chassis.
I mean, we could, yes.
Because that doesn't take very long.
Yes. Also, and yeah, since, Jacob, you were inside the cryo chambers, you're now also in space, so congrats.
Server not responding. What?
Well, it just loaded in for me.
Well, that would do it.
Yeah. It may have tried to, yeah, because,
there
like,
we go.
It instantly said, like, when my world loaded in that you had connected, and then, like, a few seconds later it said you disconnected, so I was like, it was probably still trying to load.
I see.
But yeah. Also, I was in the process, earlier today of using creative mode to, we actually also brought up the 2 utility vehicles.
Right.
We just brought them on top of the tumbler. They currently don't
Naturally.
exist anymore because, they were repaired enough to the point where I figured, might as well just paste in a new creative copy.
Yeah, sure.
Just to get rid of any small extra damage. And then while I was doing that, it occurred to me, you know, there's a number of improvements I can make to this thing.
To the tumbler or the utility vehicle?
The utility vehicle.
Gotcha.
And, yeah, I'm currently in the process of doing that, so that's why the 2 utility vehicles don't currently exist. It's because I was using creative mode to make some needed adjustments to them.
Oh, I see what you did. Nice.
Yeah, I parked it on top of Nick's roll cage.
Yeah. I'm at the thrusters.
Oh, the thrusters. Yeah.
Yeah. Just a very small minor adjustment.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm assuming it's at like 100% hydrogen now.
I have no idea. I haven't checked it in a while.
Let me take a peek. Meester, Twister.
By the way, I am, for right now, going
So
to...
44%.
Yeah, and like I said,
Which is actually a lot.
Yeah, it took about 9% to get this thing out of atmosphere with a nearly full load.
Yeah, which really isn't that much.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Not
left
even
it
a tenth of its maximum capacity.
Yeah.
Just to get out of atmo, and then once you're in space, your hydrogen consumption shoots way down.
Yeah. Yeah, in space you'll likely be gaining more hydrogen than you're losing if you're just using the maneuvering thrusters.
Right.
Also, how are you doing, Nick?
Say again?
How are you doing?
I'm alright.
Are you redesigning it just a little bit?
Yeah, for instance, I was aware of the problems of it not having enough upward-facing ion thrusters, so I more than doubled the number.
Yeah, downward thrust is very nice.
Yeah. I also found a way to cram in 4 more hydrogen tanks. And
That's a lot.
and I'm setting it up, and I'm also currently trying to find a way to see if I can get it so that it can actually fly in space without the use of ion.
Like only hydrogen?
Yeah, exclusively hydrogen, specifically for the scenario where, well, as we discovered when we first built these things, we didn't have the materials to make ion thrusters.
Right.
So once we got into space, this thing was very hard to control. So I am currently attempting to correct that.
Nice. Magnet boots. I will say the physics of this game are really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will now float away for all eternity.
Oh yeah, also, one other modification that I had in mind for the tumbler. I think I found a place where we could put, like, one more piston with just, like, a little magnetic, coupler on the end.
Oh, just for the sake of parking?
Yeah, well, so that you can anchor it to an asteroid when you want to, like, mine from the asteroid.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And, yeah, I'm very glad you came up with the idea of putting all the drills in the central area here, because that is going to make precision mining on like asteroids so much better, so much easier.
Yeah, I figured, and that was a good call on your part, reducing the number of them.
Right.
that was a solid call. Because we really didn't need as many as we had.
Yeah. Makes it easier to build, and also I managed to fit more
space
stuff.
for stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So where are you thinking of putting a piston for a coupler?
I was thinking of putting one... I'll get out of creative mode for a moment. Thinking of, like, right here, basically. Just right next to this main hydrogen thruster.
Oh, sure, why not?
Yeah.
It's not like you need to pipe it into anything, because it just needs power, so yeah, that would be fine.
And I think here you might even be able to, you should be able to even see it from the camera's way in the back, so you should be able to, just from the cockpit, be able to identify if it locks onto anything. But yeah, just like a simple piston with a magnetic plate on the end of it.
I'll actually, I'll get that going real fast and to get a piston.
What are you up to, Nick?
Just sending some stats. I rolled for some backup characters to the DM.
Ah. Fair enough.
My backups currently include a human wizard, a Azamar, can't decide if it's going to be a paladin or a cleric, and another wizard, but this one's a skeleton.
A wizard skeleton.
Mr. Calcite.
Mr. Calcite.
That is a synonym for calcium, by the way.
Calcite.
Calcite.
Yeah. That is fun.
Entertaining.
The stats I got for the skeleton wizard is 12 strength, 10 dex, 12 constitution, 14 intelligence, 9 wisdom, and 7 charisma.
Alright.
For
Fair
the
enough.
paladin or cleric, we got 12 strength, 10 dex, 11 constitution, 8 intelligence, 9 wisdom, or 13, and 13 charisma or 9 charisma, depending on whether or not it needs to be a cleric or a paladin.
Fair enough.
For the first wizard, we got 12 strength, 9 dex. No, I'm sorry, I forgot. I need to update this to the +1 because human. 13 strength, 10 dex, 13 constitution, 19 intelligence, 13 wisdom, and 7 charisma.
Yeah, that's a lot of stats.
Of all these characters, the human wizard has the best stats. And yet, knowing this DM, odds are he's going to say, play the skeleton wizard. Which has the second worst stats out of this whole group. Only
course.
marginally better than the stats I rolled for the paladin or cleric. Nope, wait, it's worse.
Rightio then.
Apparently we had literally like 0 components on this base, so I'm just having it produce a bunch.
Right.
I'm actually going to... Actually, it should be on the tumbler, right? So I'll just right-click that, and I should be able to pull... Yeah, the tumbler has components on it.
Yep.
How do you make upgraded, Upgraded... What am I
Tools?
trying to say? Yeah, upgraded, like, character tools.
Oh, in the production tab for any of the assemblers, you'll see there's actually a bunch of little icons above the assembler drop-down list.
Uh-huh.
And one of them looks like a tool.
Okay, let me look. Production... oh, tool... Oh, I see.
That's
So I
also
can
where
make
you...
guns!
Yes! That's also where you make hydrogen and, like, oxygen tanks. Which is kind of a crucial thing to know how to make.
Oh, you can make data pads? What are those for?
Hey, you can make your own little in-game journal to take notes.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And for scenario creation, you can just kind of leave them in, like, containers and stuff for other players to find. I think that was the primary reason for their implementation, actually. I have a 1-block space here. What could I possibly fit in here?
Low.
I had to make sure the in-game music was off because it was drowning you out. I was going to say, when it comes to multiplayer on servers, data pads are infinitely more useful because
Oh,
you can
right.
actually
Good
provide
point.
GPS coordinates without putting them in the global chat, which would post it to everyone.
Right, that's a good point.
So-
I hadn't thought of that.
So what... Did you want me to just put, like, a magnetic plate on the end of the piston? Or what did you want me to put on it?
Yeah, magnetic plate, or I know there's a couple variants of like
A
magnetic
large
things.
magnetic plate.
You know, something small and compact, but just enough to.
What about that, John? That's small and
isn't blocking a
compact
thruster.
for you.
What's that, Nick?
Check the edge of that. I want to make sure it's not overlapping with a thruster.
It is overlapping with a thruster, and
Oh,
it's
it
also
definitely
too
is.
big.
It's a joke. It's a meme.
Yeah, definitely not that.
So the only, like, connection surfaces are a magnetic plate, large magnetic plate, and landing gear, correct?
Yeah.
So normal
Yeah,
magnetic plate it
plates
is.
Yeah. How does the normal one... What's the normal one look like on a big grid anyway? Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that's
by the way,
fine.
here's another use. You can use datapads to create an active list of components you need,
Oh, fair.
like a shipping manifest.
Build
Yeah.
planner,
Oh,
though.
that'd be so cool. Like adding literal shipping manifests to things. That would be so cool.
Oh, that would actually be really, like, make custom quests to, like, deliver to certain things, and then have scripts that fire when they have the materials deposited into that
Straight up
specific thing.
just as you're setting up your base and getting ready for a shipment from your supply base to the new base, it's just, all right, we need to load up the cargo ship with X, Y, and Z of the following components, courtesy of this manifest we received from the other base, courtesy of our data runner.
Yeah.
They need a shipment of X, Y, and Z, so we're going to stock it up with X, Y, and Z and send it off to them.
So I went ahead and made, like, 500 of every component
Yeah.
that is, like, generic, just for the use case of if we need it.
Yeah. That's fair.
I didn't, like, go hog wild and make thousands of each.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
enough.
yeah. You say 500, and I'm just thinking in the back of my head, we've blown through 500
I know.
components so fast before.
I know. I mean, if you want, I can make more. I was just trying to, like,
I
you
mean,
know,
for
not
now,
go
that we
crazy.
should probably wait until we know what components we need. But
Right,
yeah.
which is why I just did, like, the core ones of, like, small steel tube, large steel tube, steel
Yeah.
plate, interior plate, construction components, motors, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just a funny thought that I had. Just like,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
we
it
blew
used
through
to be
that
back in the
instantly.
day, we thought like 500 was a lot.
Yeah, no, that's nothing. We should actually make more assemblers. We only have the 2 on this
Yeah,
base.
I noticed that yesterday too when I was going around just looking at it and like explaining.
We
some
have
of
an
the mechanics
army
to
of
Clark.
refineries, which is cool, but we also need some assemblers.
Yeah, there's only 2 assemblers on the
And there's like
tumbler.
17 freaking refineries on his base. All of them with like speed and yield mods.
Oh, are you talking about adding more to the tumbler or the base?
Oh, I'm sorry, not the tumbler, the base.
Okay. Fair enough.
I probably misspoke. Yeah, we need more refineries and assemblers on the tumbler.
It's missing 4 reverse.
I love the fact that we just have like 12 large containers just kind of hanging from our base from the pipes.
Yeah, I kind of took a little reference from the Easy Start bases when building this.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, it makes sense because it's not like it has any weight to it because space.
If this was an actual server, I'd build this place a hell of a lot differently, let me tell you.
Hey, it works, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
First and
So what's
foremost,
on
if
the
this was a
docket?
server with other people on it than just us, I'd actually bury this whole damn thing in the asteroid.
Yes, Nick likes to be in holes. In
I
case
played
you
Deep
weren't
Rock
aware.
Galactic for a reason.
Yes.
With that comment, I feel obligated to make a dwarven backup character. Thank you. I'll get on that. Well, actually, I want your opinion. Dwarven cleric? Dwarven fighter? Paladin?
Dwarven cleric or paladin.
What class would best fit a miner?
Not sure right off the top of my head. Oh man. I just can't help but notice the fact that I'm putting hydrogen thrusters on this thing directly next to a few hydrogen tanks. Like, what could possibly go wrong? But anyway, to answer your question, I have no idea.
Okay. We're actually short on magnesium in this base.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So we're trying to get this behemoth up and running for actual space.
It is up and running for actual space.
I mean, slap ion thrusters on it.
Where on Earth would we put them? And also why? This thing has far more hydrogen storage than, This thing has so much hydrogen storage that it's practically never going to run out of hydrogen.
The ion thrusters would more or less be emergency maneuvering thrusters in case you run out.
In case we run out. Have you seen how much hydrogen is on this thing?
Yes, and have you seen Jacob and how scarce ice can be in the void of space?
Yes, but, yeah. I mean, if you want, then feel free to try to find a place to put ion thrusters.
Don't mess with it. This is a purely hydrogen build.
But, well, I mean, I guess there are some spaces you could put some small, like, ion maneuvering thrusters
Yeah, I only
on.
ever meant small.
Yeah.
Nothing outside of that.
Oh my gosh, the tier 3 drill is so good.
Yeah, okay. Now that I'm looking around, I think there are actually a number of places you could probably stick them into the side armor.
Well, do ion
It would look
thrusters need to be
fine.
piped, or are they just a
6.2.
power
No,
thing?
Every
they're just a
direction.
pure
Tops.
electricity thruster.
Oh, okay, then you can put them anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. You can just shove them into the outside armor, just flush with the rest of it. There's a couple places you can do
Yeah.
that.
Don't even shove them in the armor, just basically have them stapled on the outside.
Why? We could make this a more permanent design if you put them flush with the armor and make it look nice.
Yeah.
But it obviously
Make it
this is a
aesthetically
retrofit.
pleasing, not just hodgepodge. Come on. That's surprising coming from you, Mr. Perfectionist.
Alright, let's see.
So what are we gonna do here, John?
Well, I mean, our primary goal... I mean, I'm currently just reworking this utility vehicle so that it works a bit better in space. But once I'm done with that, I mean, we got this tumbler up here. I'm probably going to go take this thing out for a test run and see about how well it mines ores and asteroids.
Right.
Actually,
I
we
already
could just
hooked
have
up.
4 ion thrusters pointing in every direction, and I already see where to put the side to side.
Okay. Just make sure you don't delete anything important.
It's just armor blocks.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot we have a gravity generator on the tumbler.
Yes, we do.
So this whole area is actually like being affected by the gravity generator. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
We should probably actually build one on the base here, just so we can walk around on it, huh?
Yeah, maybe.
What do you think, Nick?
I figure save the resources and put the generator on a ship.
Well, we already have one on the tumbler.
But yeah, anyway, after I go test flight this thing in terms of asteroid mining, after that, I'm pretty much ready to build whatever ship you had in mind for us, Nick.
Oh yeah, I'll get the blueprints for that up so you can take a look.
Okay.
There she is.
Ah. Yeah, that'll work.
Unfortunately, it's a mix of light and heavy armor. And it's in need of some minor adjustments, but it should work. At least as the mothership.
Yeah.
Then pump out 2 small corvettes as escorts. That should work.
Yeah. That'll probably be enough.
Then it's just a matter of pumping out enough ammunition to stockpile these things for eternity.
Yeah.
Here we go. We have another gravity generator.
Cool.
They're actually pretty cheap.
Now we're experiencing 2 Gs.
Oh, wait, that is true.
Yep.
Where's the other one?
On the tumbler.
That's why you generally don't put 2 on a ship, because that one gravity generator can makes the whole tumbler have a gravity field.
Right.
So you don't need 2 of them.
Well, that's why I put one on the base. That way when the tumbler's not here, it has its own gravity.
Okay. Fair enough. I thought you said you just put one on the tumbler, though.
I said the base.
I turn the one on the tumbler off until you need it.
Okay. Okay. Sounds fair.
Oh, so that's why you have the scaffolding out here.
What do you think, Jake? Will this work?
I think that's a pretty cool ship.
It's a default design courtesy of Keen Workshop, but it should get the job done.
Is there a green variation?
I can't hear you. What?
Is there a green variation?
Hey, John?
Yeah?
Mind hopping over to the side of the rover, I guess, and giving me your 2 cents real quick?
Yeah.
Something like this for the sideways thrusters, and the same general idea for up, down, forward, and back.
Yeah.
Can you increase the radius of the gravity generator?
How do I get my... Oh, don't quick load.
And like I said, this would just be emergency redundancy thrusters. They wouldn't be your primary mode of getting around.
Yeah.
Or, perhaps, you just kill all the hydrogen thrusters and use these to move it around slowly when you need careful maneuvering.
Energy critical.
So, do you guys know anywhere to get magnesium other than next
Sorry,
to
my
our green
spectator
base?
is completely messed up right now. I can't tell if there's... I'd use spectator to investigate the interiors to see if we could find other places to put these blocks so that they don't, so that we can fit them more flush with the ship, but, well, I guess if that's just for this one and it's not supposed to be a permanent addition, then that'll work fine.
Like I said, they're just retrofits. It's not supposed to be a permanent addition.
Alright.
The default one is just for plantfall. This is literally just slapdash attachments for space.
Well, it's meant to operate in space.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we need a lot more thruster components.
Well, we have the resources.
Yeah, if my spectator would start cooperating again, I could investigate where we could fit more of them. But somehow my spectator got attached to Jacob. I accidentally hit a button and now it's...
Hi.
And now it's just wigging out. It's attached to Jacob for some reason. And I can't get it off of him.
Are you spectating me, John?
Apparently, but I literally can't make it stop.
You're just infatuated with me, apparently.
Actually, if it's alright with you guys, I can hop into another world and start working on blueprints that we can produce for worlds like this.
No energy.
Ow, I'm running out of... Ah! I'm dying. What?
I said if it's alright with you guys, I can hop onto one of my shipyard worlds and start working on blueprints.
Sure if you want. I might just
I can
reload this world real quick anyway, just to see if I can fix my darn spectator.
I can probably start by redesigning that red ship, making it green, reallocating some weapon designs,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Yeah. And I'll see if I can... Okay, Jacob, get in a cryo. I'm gonna reset the world real quick. Jacob, you there?
Yeah, to step up for a second, he'll be back.
Okay. I'll just continue... on this way, then. 13.
So, how wide do you need the welder array for the sweeper?
Depends on the blueprint we're making.
Just for general use case, what's the largest scale that the script can handle?
I mean, I've been designing this script so it can scale up pretty large. It could probably handle, like... Yeah, in fact, probably the only limitation at this point is actually things other than the amount of welders.
Okay, fine, then we'll make it 50 welders wide.
Okay. Yeah, I think its primary, like, simple limitation is just how wide sensors can get. But, I mean, that can be changed by just adding more sensors. But if we just want to use 2 sensors for each side, then the maximum width would be... the maximum radius would be 100 meters, I think. So, yeah, the maximum radius would be 100 meters, which would mean...
Every block is 3 meters?
2.5, so that's 40 blocks.
40 blocks? Okay, that's fine.
40 block radius would be the limit for having 2 sensors, 1 on each side.
Okay. So, 40 block line of welders.
Yeah. Well, actually, it would be 80 blocks long, so 40 on each side.
Oh, you said radius, not diameter.
Yeah.
Okay. 80 welders it is.
Although, to be fair, as I discovered in my own prototype, the width of the welders is a lot more easy to extend than, like, the depth of the system.
Yeah.
So we could probably go with less, yeah, like, for instance, let's, so that ship Nick was putting out, I think it was, like, roughly twice the length of the tumbler.
Right, and the tumbler's like 40 blocks wide.
Yeah, let's see, okay, right? Yep.
Or long, I mean.
Yeah, well, let's find out. It is approximately 30 blocks long. So that would mean that ship is 60 blocks long, approximately. And,
Approximately.
I think it was made, we'll just call it, like, say, twice the width of the tumbler.
Sure.
So... the tumbler is... we'll just round it up to, say, 20 blocks wide. So is that 60 blocks long, 20 blocks wide. 60 long, 20 wide, and just for the sake of things, we'll just say, we'll do twice the depth of the tumbler. So basically, we'll make this thing capable of building something twice as big as the tumbler in every single dimension.
Right.
So the tumbler is approximately 10 blocks tall. So we'll say 20. So 20 blocks deep.
And how many pistons is that?
Pistons are 6 blocks long when they're fully retracted.
So basically 3 pistons with just over, so 4.
Yeah, or... no, pistons are 6 blocks long when they're fully extended.
Right, 6 times 3 is 18, and 20 blocks is what we're shooting for, so...
Yeah,
4 it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And each piston is, yeah, each piston can go, 4 blocks long. It can extend by 4 blocks. So yeah, and the pistons are, so yeah. So yeah, in that case, if we're doing 60 blocks, we could say the long amount, since it's the largest amount, we could say that's for the number of welders. And then the other 2 can be for pistons.
Right.
It's smaller. So that would mean, 60... well, actually, that would just mean 30 block radius. So 60 welders in total.
So not 80 welders.
Yeah.
Alright. So 60 welders long and 4 pistons deep.
And 4 pistons long, I guess.
Yeah, 4 pistons extending
Yeah.
to...
There's horizontal. I called them horizontal and vertical pistons.
Yes, exactly. 4 vertical and 4 horizontal pistons.
Yeah, I think that would work. Let me check the math. 4 times 4.
16.
It wouldn't quite get us to our target. I think like 5 would probably work, though. 5 times 4. Yeah, 5 times 4 is 20, exactly. So
5 horizontal, 4 vertical?
Just 5 for both.
Oh, okay.
Because the depth and the width was the same. It's 20.
But isn't each piston 6 blocks?
It extends 4 blocks.
Okay.
So you only gain 4 blocks with every piston. In other words, yeah, you only gain 4 blocks of extension range with each piston.
I see. I gotcha. So 5 each. Okay, gotcha.
Yep. So 5
60
horizontal.
wide, 5 and 5.
First thing I'm doing is replacing the rail guns with a couple of artillery guns.
Okay.
Simply because they'll fire faster and they don't... I imagine we can all understand the problems with railguns on a ship that big that isn't turreted.
It's hard to hit anything.
Pretty much. I mean, unless it's dead center.
Yeah.
But railguns on the wings like that? Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, you could put them onto custom turret controllers, but that's finicky.
Hey, John, we should probably hook up the tumbler to the base because there's a lot of minerals on it that we need.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, feel free to set up some connection port for it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how I want to approach that. Well, actually, there's already, like, just a free connector port just kind of jutting out from the side of the base, and I could just use that for now, if you want to help me, like, position the tumbler to that.
Yeah, give me a moment. I'm... What specific block? Where are you? There you are. Alright, oh, where is it? Where do you... Oh, there you are. Oh, I see, yeah. There is also a camera, in one of the hotbars that is for the rear connector. And that camera is placed exactly 1 block below the connector, so...
Okay, I'm forgetting, how do I... Oh, is it... Oh, I see. Ah, I see it, okay.
Yeah. Yep, keep going down. Yep, you're almost there. By the way, just as a heads up, you have your main lift thrusters online. You might want to turn those off for maneuvering. There you go. That'll just help you position it. Okay, so go down and your left a little bit. Yep, okay, you're pretty much lined up horizontally. Now just vertically, you're a little off. You need to go down a tad. Down a little bit more. Yeah, it looks like you're lined up, so just back it in slowly. Yep, you're getting there. Yep, keep going. Keep going at that speed, you're doing just fine. Okay, up a little bit. Yep, okay, back it up a tiny bit more. Okay, and in the hotbar, there should be a lock connector button.
Did that do it?
No, in one of the hotbar menus, there should be a lock connector. There you go. And there it is. It's connected.
Okay. Okay. Cool beans. Now I can pull all the resources from the tumbler.
Yeah.
Instead of doing it one by hand.
Yeah.
Oh, prepare for lag.
Okay. You did a mistake.
I think I'm okay.
Did you do the thing that I occasionally accidentally do, where I have
I
it
transferred everything.
to everything?
I think I did anyway.
Well, it hasn't lagged on my end yet.
I think I did it. Let me check the base. Either way, it's connected to it, so I can build whatever I want now because resources.
Yeah.
Where are you at? Oh, I see you. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Trying to... Ow.
How much did that do?
Like 30 damage or something?
Dang, okay. Just wanted to do a small test.
Well, you did a small test.
Indeed. Now to open fire. Very funny. Anyway. On to making the welding array. Why are the drills extended? I might have pressed the wrong button. I will fix it.
Okay. Gave some minor refits to the green, well, now green ship. Let's see here. The internal plumbing isn't exactly the greatest for combat, so I only managed to add a couple more Gatling turrets to the back. This thing's mainly just a heavy hitter that just packs a punch. We're going to need those Corvettes to deal with smaller things.
Okay.
Okay. Where looks like a good spot for the printer, John?
Um,
I'm thinking just like going out from this little conveyor here, and then just
Give me a
going out this
sec.
way.
yeah, give me a sec. Want the standard block. There we go.
Okay, the Corvettes. Also not made out of heavy armor, but they got a lot of Gatling guns, so that should compensate for something.
Alright.
Let's see here. They got a lot of exposed conveyors on the bottom I gotta replace with reinforced ones. And they got a couple of missile turrets I need to replace with, well, literally anything else, because missile turrets aren't exactly all that great.
Right. I mean, they're good at taking out heavy targets, but not exactly,
When we're going up against drones, that's not what we're going to be dealing with.
yeah. Yeah, they're good at taking out large targets.
Right.
But Gatling guns are definitely superior when dealing with small targets.
So if we wanted to go down 24 in each block, or down 20 and each block is 2 blocks and there's 5 of them, so I want to build it 30 blocks high, correct?
Well, each piston takes up 2 blocks of unextension space.
Right, and there's
non-extension space.
5 of them height-wise, which makes that 10 unextended block spaces.
Yeah.
So then I should build it 30 high so it extends down 20 blocks? To ground level?
Yeah, I've been wrong numerous times before in my calculations with pistons, so my advice is probably try it, extend them, and then see if you're right.
Alright.
Just build them, extend them, and see if you're right.
Yeah, what's really annoying, Jonathan, is for some reason I can't use this conveyor as a pulling parts for build planner, and I don't know why.
Huh.
It's not highlighting the stupid box or anything on it. Weird.
Yeah. Alright, this thing now has a full 6-axis directional control with all types of engines. This utility vehicle. And also, this utility vehicle used to have a number of hidden engines inside of it. I've removed all those hidden engines because, one, they're because they're hidden, you don't know they're there if you've built the thing. And and 2, also, it makes it difficult to repair them. As I've discovered. But yeah.
Oh, I gotcha.
And this thing also has more, I think almost more thrusters in all directions, although because I removed the hidden ones, it now actually has slightly less thrust in the reverse direction. Just because of how the thing is built, I am literally having trouble finding places to put more reverse engines on this thing without making it look terrible. Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I've finished editing the giant ship that's currently at the blueprint stage
Okay.
on the base. It is now green instead of red, and the bridge at the front has been removed and replaced by the control seat inside the reactor room. Furthermore, it has been completely filled up with nothing but armor blocks. Not heavy armor blocks, mind you, but it's enough that it should serve as a sufficient battering ram if we need to.
Alright. Sounds square.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to change the stenciling on the side. Instead of keen 1, what do you want it to say? We got 2, 4. We got 5 letters. What kind of class of ship do you want this to be?
I have no idea. That looks a lot better.
I mean, we can just have the faction name stenciled on the side. You know, like
help us?
UNSC type thing.
Just HU for help us.
I mean, the generic faction name we'd use in most other playthroughs.
Okay.
Haha, Jonathan, my math was correct.
Nice.
Check it out.
If you don't mind, I think I've settled on a name that could be pretty useful.
Nice.
The GMC, the Galactic Miners Guild.
Yeah, fair. There's just one... I mean, this won't be much of a problem because we haven't constructed most of the scaffolding yet. We can just change the rest of it. And that is, yeah, the pistons go all the way down, but what about the welders underneath them? That's 2 blocks more of space.
Damn it!
Though, like I said, we could just make the floor lower. And also, to be fair, I also forgot about that until just now. When I looked at it, I was like, oh, right, the welders.
I will fix that in a moment. I'm going to use the restroom real fast.
I mean, we could just make the floor, like, 2 blocks lower.
Nope, it needs to be flush with the actual base. Look.
Alright, then.
Artificial constraints would be like...
Also, I should mention that, you probably want at least 1 or 2 blocks more of just extra space between that and the floor, just so that, you know, a blueprint can actually be started. Because otherwise, we're literally wasting this thing's length, if a blueprint can't even be started at its lowest. Oh, right, he just left. I'll explain that again when he gets back.
And when it comes to the GMC, we're taking, or at least I'm taking a cue from Deep Rock Galactic. Green is dedicated military hardware. Red is manufacturing and engineering stuff. Yellow is mining. Blue is scout and long-range transport.
Okay.
Or should I say light transport?
Right.
I should be hopping back on in a second and changing the blueprints accordingly.
Okay.
Okay, now to fix the piston array just a little bit.
Right, you were gone when I mentioned this, but, also make sure that there's a block of space between the floor and the maximum extension so that a blueprint can actually be started.
Yeah, I also thought
Actually,
of that
probably
too.
like maybe 2 or 3 blocks of space would be good.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably like 3, because you could have the projector on there.
Yeah.
So probably make it like...
Here's the new ship.
Maybe 3 or 4 blocks.
Give me a moment. I will look at
Cool.
it. Oh, that looks better. Okay. Okay.
I like the color.
Yeah. That's a pretty color.
Indeed.
The windows at the front have been removed, and along with the bridge that once held there, so now it's all just solid armor blocks.
That's a good thing.
Is that a heavy armor?
And if you look towards the back landing pad, I adjusted the turrets on the side to now be up and down, so we got 4 turrets.
Okay. Hang on, how
I'm dying. I'm out of suit energy.
big
So
is
yeah,
this thing?
I've kind of fixed the rear section's protections with 4 Gatling turrets for point defense. And this thing is literally
5.
called the ramming frigate, so it's not really designed to do much else other than completely take out heavy targets and serve as a general transport.
Right.
You want me to pull up the blueprint of the corvettes to produce them first, given they're going to be more useful at taking out smaller targets?
Yeah. Also, I'm just getting a measurement of this thing first. My brain math is failing me.
Right.
By the way, Nick's ship is 29 blocks wide.
And what, how many blocks long?
Probably longer.
This is the corvette.
Which means we can't make it on the printer?
Energy low.
Yeah, it's slightly out of range of the printer.
Do we want to make the printer bigger, or will that not work with the program?
I mean, we could make it bigger. And by
I'd
bigger, I mean
suggest-
just add more pistons.
That's what I meant.
Hey guys,
What?
I'd suggest just having the welding grid be the whole length of this base, given the fact it is basically a glorified shipyard.
No, I don't think the program could handle that.
Well, the program, the number of pistons we add won't do anything to the program, because the pistons are just a mechanical block that it just moves. It doesn't
Well,
do any complex stuff with pistons. It's the number of welders that would
That's
be...
what I meant. The welders, yeah.
But the welding array, we had 60 blocks wide. We have a plan to be 60 blocks wide, which might be enough to actually fit the length of that thing. So if we just make it like a bit wider, then we could...
What if we do
If you
six?
just make the
what if we do
welding-
6 pistons each?
If
So
you
it's
make the-
24 and
I'll wait.
24.
If you make the welding heads basically reach from a block short of this, over here where I'm currently sitting,
Yeah. I
all
see
the
you.
way to the end, we can print just about anything.
Okay. Can you show Jacob that? I'm a little occupied.
Hey Jake, have the welding blocks start from here all the way to a block short of that over there. Here to there.
What if we just mark out in, like, scaffolding blocks just the target, like, size we want?
How many welders do you think would be pushing it but acceptable, Jonathan?
I mean, like I said, if you get the... Can you pull out the blueprint again, Nick? Of the bigger ship?
Hey John, do you see the scaffolding blocks I put at each end?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. For the welding boom.
That's a big boy.
That way we can just weld just about anything.
Yes. Yeah.
Energy
Pulling up the
critical.
big boy.
Hey, Jonathan, I'm gonna be right back.
Okay. Yeah, luckily the newest printing script is designed to... It basically, instead of dealing with all the welders all at once, it deals with them over multiple updates. So the only thing that's actually going to happen with adding a whole lot of more welders is just that it'll take longer to weld. But the script will likely not crash or anything.
To be fair, though, if we just need a crap ton of Gatling turrets, I'm going to pull up another... Well, I had another blueprint in mind, but then I remembered it's got multiple grids, so that's out.
Yeah. Here, I'm just gonna quickly, place down some more blocks, just so we can make, like, a rectangle or something of the area we want here. Out of scaffolding, just for an idea.
No energy.
Ah! Out of energy. Help me.
Low.
Turn on. Okay.
I imagine this ramming ship is about as large as you want to go for anything made in this printer, right?
Probably. Hang on, let me check.
I want to test something real quick.
Yar. Need steel plates. We're... what is this? Oh! Hello, old friend. That's actually not as ludicrously large as I remember it being. It's actually somewhat reasonably large. Or, I mean, reasonably sized. And also, yeah, that looks like it... If we make the printing system just a tad taller. Yeah. We could print the Orca. We probably want to make a few modifications to the Orca, though, before we print its blueprint. It's pretty outdated.
For this mission, not really. All we need is all the Gatling guns on it, and that'll do the rest.
Right. I'm just thinking about the rest of the interior.
Actually, the rest of the interior is perfectly fine.
Oh, you checked it already? Okay.
Aside from the crew quarters that just won't be printed because they're modded blocks, everything works.
Alright.
The vast cargo rooms, the vast cryopod rooms.
I mean, yeah, if we just do this, then, like... Oh my gosh. This is hilarious. Yeah.
It's got the production, it's got everything, actually.
Nice.
It is basically a proto-colony ship.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's how how we designed it.
I mean, it was originally designed as a battle carrier. Or should I say a proto-fleet carrier.
Yeah, I mean, I was designing it as kind of an all-purpose vessel, so like primarily a colony ship, but also had enough defenses to keep itself alive in small skirmishes.
Small skirmish, he says.
Yeah.
This thing's got enough Gatling guns to shred everything short of a dedicated assault.
Yeah.
Of course, that also means this thing is going to chew through ammo like there's no tomorrow, and we're going to need to produce more Gatling bullets than we know what to do with.
Yeah. Well, you said this thing has assemblers on it, right?
Yes. Doesn't change the fact that we're going to need to find a crap ton of stuff to make the bullets.
Yes, but hey, we have a massive mining drill machine thing that can help with that. Ah! Oh. Oh dear! No, come back! Eh. Okay. That would have been interesting. I doubt it would have actually damaged the tumbler, but that would have been
Is that a
hilarious.
little too high?
I mean, at this point, we're just gonna tear down whatever Jake is currently put in place and just make it bigger to accommodate this.
I'm dead.
Okay, yeah. And from there, we can just do...
Your health is low.
But right, yeah. The height of it, yeah, maybe make it like 2 blocks higher. Just for good measure. Because what I'm outlining here is the floor, so...
I'm gonna hop back onto my other world, just pop the orca in and give it a new paint job to fit its new role.
Okay. Can you make the blueprint 2 blocks higher, if you haven't already?
Say again.
Make the blueprint projector just 2 blocks higher. You know, just increase
I make it 2
the...
blocks higher. It's right in line with the bottom, unless you want it.
Well, it's, one of its nacelles is actually 1 block below the bottom.
I thought we made these even.
No, they are even. It's just that these... What I'm making
No,
here
it's
is the
right
floor.
in line.
Yes, it's right in line, so you need to make it go up by at least 1 or 2.
1 block.
Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. Yeah, feel free to jump into the other world, give it a new paint job, and also feel free to make any small changes to the blueprint if you feel there are some changes that need to be made.
Alright, I'll be back.
Okay.
Given the nature of the ship and the rules of the GMC, prepare for a big red blip.